Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 12, Episode 10. And let me just tell you guys right now that once again, a lot of us are going to be at odds, but it's okay. I have made peace with it, all right? But before we jump into this recap, I do have to give a huge thank you to my friends over at Dossier. Hey guys! So Dossier has selected me to be one of their brand ambassadors, and I am super excited because Dossier's mission is to give you some of the most fabulous fragrances at a fraction of the price. So today I am going to be testing out 2 fragrances that I selected, and I am super excited because with the warmer months ahead, you want to smell nice and fresh and sexy, so let's just get right on into it, okay? So my first scent that I'll be trying out is the Aquatic Coconut, and some of the top notes in this fragrance are bergamot, pink pepper, ylang ylang, musks, cedarwood, and coconut. And this fragrance is inspired by Maison Margiela, Replica Beach Walk, Eau de Toilette. All right? So, without further ado, we are going to try the Aquatic Coconut out. All right, guys. So I'm going to spray on my left wrist. Oh, this smells amazing. So, if you know me, then you know that I love coconut. I love a crisp, fresh scent. This is definitely going to be sprayed for every single brunch date, lunch date. Okay, this gives me very much, I am going out on a yacht. This is going to be in my rotation. Love this. And once again, let's give it up for the packaging, please. So pretty. And I love the box that it comes in, just elegant. I'm a sucker for good packaging. Now this next fragrance I'm really excited for. When I saw this, I said, okay, I have to try this out. Because you guys know I love my champagne. I love a mimosa. Spicy mimosa, sign me up. The top notes in the spicy mimosa are the cardamom, the tonka bean, and the sandalwood. And it's inspired by Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom Cologne. And it's so funny because I have that same Jo Malone candle and it smells amazing. Like, I burn that candle every single day. So I'm super excited to try this one out. But before we test out the spicy mimosa, let me first cleanse my palate by sniffing some coffee beans. It's an old trick that my grandma and my mom taught me. So here goes. Okay, now it's time to test out the spicy mimosa. So now it's time for me to spray the spicy mimosa on my right wrist, and here we go. Oh my gosh, this smells divine. Spicy mimosa is that girl. If you're looking for a gift for yourself, Mother's Day is around the corner. Mom would definitely love these. If you're looking for graduation gifts, or if you're a bride-to-be and you want to give a very nice token of appreciation to your bridesmaids, look no further than some fabulous fragrances from Dossier. And again, you can't beat the prices. You're getting luxury at an amazing price. And as always, the link is down below in the description box, so definitely check them out. And the prices are amazing, the scents are amazing. You're gonna thank me later, all right? Like, when you go out and get a lot of compliments, shoot me an email, DM me on Instagram, tweet me on Twitter, and be like, Brooke, you were right. But without further ado, let's just jump right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare. So we start this episode off with Margaret and her mom, Marge Sr. And y'all know that I live for the fact that Margaret is named after her mom. I love it.
I love it. I love it.
I think that is very much iconic behavior. And I told you guys a few recaps ago that I actually want to do the same if I have daughters. But anyhow, Margaret is going over the party details for Marge Sr.'s 75th birthday. And Margaret's mom was so cute when she was like, even though I'm turning 75, I still feel like I'm in my 50s. I like Margaret's mom. She's always in a good mood, always happy. Like, she seems like she's a good time. She can hang with everybody. Everybody loves her. Like, I love it. We learned that the theme of the party is a Hungarian theme because Margaret and her mom are Hungarian. We also learn a lot about Marge Sr.'s upbringing. Margaret says in her confessional that her mom and her grandparents had to flee Hungary in the middle of the night with the clothes on their back. They fled to Austria, and then from Austria, they came to America on Christmas Eve. So we see Marge Sr. talking about how hard it was when they came to America because she and her parents didn't speak English, and her parents were working 2 jobs to create a better life for her. So Margaret and Marge Sr. are getting emotional, reminiscing about the past, and now they change gears in conversation and start discussing the guest list. So Margaret's like, of course, all of your friends are coming, my girlfriends are coming, and their husbands. So Marge Sr. wants to know if Jen and Bill are coming, and Margaret says, yes, I hope so. I invited both of them, and I like Bill. Marge Sr. says that she also likes Bill as well. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like Marge Sr. has a crush on all the husbands in the group, so she wants everybody to be there, okay? So when she said, I like Bill a lot too, I said, girl, I'm sure you do. Now, Margaret says, look, Mom, everybody's invited except for Teresa. We're on the outs right now, and I don't want any negativity or drama. Marge Sr. is kind of sad because she likes Teresa, but she understands. Now, before all you Teresa fans get upset, hear me out. I think that Margaret did the right thing by not inviting Teresa, because if I'm throwing my mom a big party, I don't want any drama, okay? Too much money has been spent for anything to go wrong. I just don't believe in inviting somebody who can't stand me to a birthday party of mine, to an event of mine. Like, I just don't get it. If you don't like me, that's fine, but you won't be around me. Let's be clear. So again, I'm not upset that Margaret didn't extend an invite to Teresa. Now we jump over to the next scene with Teresa. She's at home with her oldest daughter, Gia, and she is trying to pack up all their belongings because remember that they are moving out of this house and moving into the new house with Louie next week. So we see boxes all over the place. She has a bag of donations to give to Dolores because Dolores is going to come over shortly to take some things to the shelter. Because remember that Dolores also has partnered up with the local shelter, and she's always, giving donations and just trying to help out. So now, in the middle of Teresa trying to pack everything up, Melania calls and she's like, hey Mom, I'm out of practice. Can you come pick me up? So Teresa's like, girl, I forgot all about that. I'm gonna need your sister to pick you up because I can't. Like, I'm in the middle of so much right now. So now Gia leaves to pick up Melania, and we see Dolores come over. And her and Teresa have a quick chat and some coffee, and they're just talking about the baseball game. Teresa's still annoyed that Tracy and Margaret didn't wear her clothing line. And I just want to know, Teresa, are we living on the same planet? Because why would you expect for 2 people who you dogged out to support your clothing line? Does that make sense? If the shoe were on the other foot, you would not support Margaret or Tracy. You'd be like, oh, absolutely not. They called me XYZ. There's no way I'm helping them out. So why would you expect them to wear your stuff? I really get irritated with how Teresa has this, she can say and do whatever she wants to you, but you have to fall in line and do as she says. That's not how this works. If I were Margaret or Tracy, I would just say, look, if you want me to promote your clothing line, I'm gonna need an apology. Just like that. And then, of course, Teresa's making digs about Tracy being up Margaret's ass. But I'm like, the same could be said about Jen being up your ass. So it's okay for people to kiss your ass, but nobody else's. So now Dolores brings up the idea of going on a vacation. She needs a girls' trip because she has not traveled in quite some time. So Teresa says, yeah, I would love to, but I just don't want to travel with certain girls, meaning Tracy and Margaret. And the girl, I'm sure the feeling is mutual. I don't think they're dying to travel with you either. But anyhow, they now get on the topic of Marge Sr.'s 75th birthday party, and Teresa says that she wasn't invited, but she's not trying to be around negativity, even though she loves Marge Sr. I mean, Teresa, like I said just a few minutes ago, you and Margaret are not on the best of terms, and I would like to believe that you have enough common sense to understand Margaret's reasoning. Like I've said many times before, I really hate the fact that Teresa cannot own up to anything that she does. She always wants to act like she's the victim. And you're not the victim to circumstances that you've created. So now we move on to the next scene with Melissa, Joe, Tracy, Tiki, and their daughter Tegan over at Melissa and Joe's house. So they're all talking about the charity baseball game last night, how they're all super sore. And of course, the drama gets brought up. Tracy brings up how Teresa was angry that her and Margaret didn't wear her clothing line. And Melissa says, look, I didn't want any drama that night, so as you saw, I put those leggings on. Now, Tracy brings up how she's super confused as to why Teresa is mad at her over her husband asking Louis questions. She's like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't put my husband up to anything. He asked, and she's not mad at him. She's mad at me. Like, how does that work? So Tiki makes a joke that him and Teresa are all good, and he won her over with his disarming personality. And now we see a clip that Teresa and Tiki shared a hug at the baseball game. I don't like how Teresa is one of those women who she seems to put men on a pedestal. Like, she's the type to fall out with a friend, but a man who does her dirty repeatedly, she'll keep making excuses for him and take him back. You know what I'm saying? You know girls who are like that, like they prioritize men over their girls. That's Teresa. And I can't stand that, by the way. And that's another video for another day because I can tell y'all some stories. And y'all know I have some good stories, okay? As you saw in my latest Candy in the Gang recap. But women like Teresa really get me upset because you have no right to be mad at Tracy. And like I've said in previous recaps, if Louis is on the up and up, if he's such a good man like you claim, then anybody asking him questions should not set you off this bad. You should be brushing these questions off. Now, shouldn't you? And Tiki, you need to ride with your wife. If you know that Teresa doesn't like your wife, why are you giving Teresa a big old hug?
No.
Like, no. Y'all are a unit. If your wife is beefing with Teresa, then you need to be paying Teresa dust as well. Just my petty opinion, but I digress. Now we see Joe Gorga and Tiki get up and they start playing catch with Joe Gorga's sons. So while they're playing catch, it's just Melissa and Tracy talking. And of course, Tracy and Tiki's daughter is right there too. And again, she is so cute. So Tracy brings up that Tegan is having a little bit of trouble and how she has a tutor for her because she's not quite socially ready for kindergarten. So she's kind of nervous and she's like, I hope she grows out of it. Melissa is assuring her that it's going to be fine and how, all kids go through those phases. So now Melissa turns the conversation to herself and she brings up Antonia and how Antonia's been kind of depressed about the injury and changing schools. And she's nervous that Antonia is going to start hanging with the wrong crowd because when she was 16 and her father passed away, she went through a very dark period. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like Melissa is reaching with this as a storyline. I don't think that Antonia is coping with this in a way that would lead her to be so nervous and afraid that something awful is going to happen. She seems like a well-adjusted kid who's just upset by recent changes. Just my personal opinion. I want to see Melissa get a stronger storyline because these past few seasons, it just feels like she has been grasping at straws. Because honestly, your husband is carrying you on his back. If we're being very honest, like he has a lot more storyline than you do. Now we jump to a very touching scene. Jackie is getting ice cream with her children, and she kept her word. She said she would do it, and she orders herself a small cup of cake batter ice cream. I loved how her kids were so excited for her because remember that she hasn't had ice cream in 20 years, and her kids had never seen her eat ice cream with them, so this was definitely a treat. So while they're sitting down enjoying their cones, Jackie takes a few bites and she's like, oh my gosh, like this tastes amazing. But she feels really conflicted and she says that it feels like she's walking off of a cliff. And while she was taking a few bites of the ice cream, you could see it all over her face that she couldn't fully enjoy it because she's worried about counting calories and how is this going to affect her diet. Like, I just felt so bad, but I was really happy to see how happy her kids were. And it was cute because they all wanted a bite of her ice cream, and then she took a few bites of their ice cream. So that was really nice to watch. And while Jackie didn't eat all of the ice cream, she ate less than half of the ice cream because it all turned into a puddle. But I do have to say I was happy that she did stick to her promise and she did it. It really meant the world to her children that she did it. And I think that her kids are going to, continue to encourage her to, enjoy some more treats with them. I'm glad that Jackie is being honest and open about her struggles with her eating disorder. I really do wish the best for her. I hope that she continues to get some help. I hope that she does eventually beat this. Now, this next scene with Melissa, I was just like, girl, really? Her and Antonia are at the gym. Antonia's with her trainer. Antonia's ACL has healed, so they're doing some exercises to get her back on cheer. Because remember that she was unable to cheer since the injury had her out for like 8 months. So while Antonia is doing her workouts, Melissa's sitting on the side and she's, making comments and trying to cheer her on. And you can tell that Antonia's getting annoyed. So now Antonia's trainer lets her have a quick break and Antonia walks over to Melissa. So Melissa's happy that Antonia's getting back into the swing of things. And then she brings up that she does not want Antonia to fall into a depression and how she's nervous about Antonia and how she felt like Antonia had given up on cheer and all this stuff. So Antonia says, Mom, was I upset at you and Dad for packing up and moving and me having to change schools in the middle of a school year? Yes. But is it that serious where you need to worry about me falling into a depression? No. Like, I'm adjusting at this new school just fine. Like, everything is okay. It's not that big of a deal. And I feel like Melissa is trying to make this storyline a lot more dramatic than it needs to be. And I was happy that Antonia clocked her like, sis, you're doing a bit much. You're at a 10, and I need you to bring it down to a 3. Melissa, I'm not going to keep saying it. Next season, we want a storyline. So now we flip back over to Jackie. She's at her therapist's office, and she is telling the therapist how she kept her word and took the kids out for ice cream, and she ordered a small cup for herself. Now, she admits that she ate less than half, and unfortunately, she thought about the ice cream all day. She continues on by saying that she felt guilty about it, and she kept thinking that a normal person would have skipped something else because they had the ice cream. So the therapist says, no, that's actually not what a normal person would do. So then Jackie admits that she could honestly continue to count calories until the day her heart gives out. So now she goes on to add that when she gets stressed out, she stops eating, and she brings up the whole rumor situation with Teresa saying that Evan was cheating on her, and she says that that situation had her lose a few pounds. Now, not to make this about me in the least, but I have to say that I relate to that because when I'm stressed about something, if I get into an argument with somebody, I can't eat. I don't know why, but when I'm very angry or upset about something, I cannot eat. There's something about stress and being tense that really kills an appetite. So now the therapist says, well, since you went out and got ice cream this week, why don't you see if you can take the kids out for pizza and have a slice with them? And baby, you would have thought that the therapist had cursed Jackie out because Jackie was looking like absolutely not. So the scene ends with Jackie saying that she will consider adding something more to her diet each day because she wants to eat more than just strawberries for breakfast. So now it's the day of Marge Sr.'s 75th birthday party. Her, Margaret, and Joe are at the venue getting ready. And may I just make a little observation? I swear to you, Margaret and her mom always have some hair rollers in, and that hair is always flat. I'm like, what are these rollers doing? Clearly, they're not doing their jobs. Can you get a curling iron and put a curl in there? Those rollers are not giving what they're supposed to have gave, in the words of the iconic Rolling Ray. So anyhow, they're super excited, getting dressed and all made up. And now we see all the other ladies and their husbands getting ready too. Jen is super excited. She says that it's nice to finally be invited somewhere since she has been on the outs with the group for a long time. Bill says that he's gonna come too, but he's still a little bit nervous about seeing the guys because he's still upset at them. Now we see Jackie and Evan at home getting ready for the party, and they're discussing Bill as well. So Jackie's like, yeah, you and Bill are good. Like, you reached out to him the other day. So Evan's like, yeah, we're good. We see the text messages. Evan says, hey, bro, I'm really sorry. And all Bill says back is an emoji. What gets me annoyed about Bill is the fact that he's so passive aggressive. If you're going to be mad at them, then just tell them outright. But all this, one word answers, like, you're better off just ignoring them. And of course, we see Joe and Melissa getting ready for the party, and they're discussing Bill as well. Joe is still pissed about everything that has gone down, and he says that he wants Bill to face it like a man and have a conversation. Now, I was like, Joe, I understand that you're upset, but please do not show your ass at somebody else's party. Please. Margaret has spent a lot of money. She has spent a lot of time trying to throw her mom a nice birthday party. So please, keep it cute. Whatever conversation that needs to be had between you and Bill, do that somewhere else. But don't bring all that mess at Marge Sr.'s party, please. Now it's time for the party to finally start. All the guests start arriving. We see Frank and Dolores arrive. Melissa, Joe, and her mom arrive. And I had no idea that this is the same venue that they had their son Joey's christening at. And we all know how that christening ended up, with Teresa's then husband Joe and her brother Joe fighting like dogs. That had to be one of the saddest things I have ever seen on reality TV. They tore that baby's reception up. If you're new to the Jersey franchise, I suggest that you watch season 3. If you watch no other season, watch season 3. That first episode was a mess. We see Jackie and Evan arrive, along with Tiki and Tracy. Everybody's in good spirits. The husbands are all joking around talking. And then Margaret's husband, Joe, says to Joe Gorga, just letting you know now, it's supposed to be a nice night for my mom-in-law, no drama, but Bill is coming. So already Joe Gorga's face is like, oh, Bill's coming? Like, okay, because I have some choice words for him. And you could see it in the other Joe's face that he was just like, again, don't try anything because me and my wife spent top dollar for this party. So whatever drama that y'all have with Bill, take that somewhere else because tonight is not the night. So Jen and Bill finally arrive, and Bill's body language, from my observation, he looked visibly nervous. And Bill seems to have more emotion over the guys than his wife feeling upset about him cheating. So Jen is in great spirits. She greets everybody. She's excited to be at the party. And Bill walks over to the other husbands. So Joe Gorga is on edge. We see Bill and Frank talk, and they walk over to the bar. So Joe Gorga is watching Bill like a hawk. He walks over to the bar, and it is super awkward. He's like, hey, bro, like, what's good? Bill's trying to play it cool. He's, saying, hey, what's up? How are you? And Joe wants to know, why didn't he attend the charity baseball game the other day? So Bill says, well, I had a surgery that day and I got out of work late. So that's the reason why. The rest of the husbands aren't buying it. Joe Gorga is definitely not buying that excuse, and he feels a type of way. Now Bill goes on to say that it's been a rough couple of weeks, and now Frank interjects and says, yeah, man, I try to reach out to you, and all I get back are short one-word answers. Now Joe Gorga interjects, and he says, look, I just want to let you know that I'm still really upset at how your wife kicked us out of your shore house a few months ago. Like, that's very degrading for anybody to kick you out anywhere. And the fact that you didn't give me a call to see how I was doing, like, that really hurt. So now Bill says, look, I understand. I was hurt too. Then Bill addresses Evan, and then Evan comes over and he's like, bro, are we good? Like, I'm good with you. I don't have a problem with you. Like, you're my boy. So now Bill says, yeah, we're all good. Like, I don't have any beef with any of y'all. So, child, they finally kiss and make up, and now Joe is busting his chops about what Bill has to do now to get back into the group. And then Bill jokes around that he's going to kiss his ass the same way that Frank did a few seasons ago. I have to admit, I was really happy to see all the guys getting along, and they're back to being friends again. I don't like seeing them on the outs. They really do have a nice friendship. You can tell that it really is a brotherhood, so you can see that they were actually hurt about Bill being upset with them. And Bill knows good and damn well that he was not trying to be on the outs with the rest of the guys for that much longer. Bill is just as eager to be a part of the cool group the same way his wife is. So he was not fooling me, trying to be a tough guy, talking about he doesn't care about them, how he's over them. I said, okay, Bill. So while all the husbands and Frank are laughing and joking, all the ladies are talking about they want to have a couples trip. Dolores says that she wants to check out Nashville. Jackie says that she's been before and she had a great time. Everybody seems down to go. And now, of course, Teresa and Louie get brought up. Now, Melissa, being messy, she goes on to ask Margaret if Teresa was invited to Marge Sr.'s party. Margaret says, nope, like I didn't want any drama tonight. So your sister-in-law was not invited to this party. And Melissa, you already knew the answer to that question, so why are you being messy? Then Tracy brings up how Teresa is mad at her over Tiki asking Louie questions. So Dolores says, well, in her defense, Teresa does not believe in fighting with men. And like I said earlier, Teresa is the type to put men on a pedestal. She'll give them chance after chance, let them talk to her crazy, but let another woman say something, and it's like the end of the world. Teresa has a little bit of a pick-me spirit at her big age, if we're being very honest. So now it's time for everybody to eat dinner, and Jackie says that even though she's piling up her plate with food, she's only doing it to give the appearance like she's going to eat when she knows that she's really only going to take a few bites. And again, my heart really goes out to her because that is just a very sad way to live. You know, that is her dominant thought from sun up to sundown about when is she going to eat, what is she going to eat, how much is she going to eat, and that's all she thinks about. Like, that must get very tiring for her. And like I've said countless times, I really do hope that Jackie is able to overcome this because she deserves to enjoy a meal with her friends and family and not have anxiety about food. So now we see Margaret making a toast to her mom, and I'm not even gonna lie, I got teary-eyed because I thought it was just so beautiful. And you could really see how touched Marge Sr. was that her daughter went through all this trouble to throw her such a beautiful party. And you know, she was tearing up, and I started tearing up, Margaret's tearing up. It was a very sweet moment. But the episode ends with Marge Sr. saying that this is the best night of her life. Everybody's dancing, and it was a really nice party. I thought it was cute when Bill picked Marge Sr. up. I just love how they all sort of like flirt with her. It's so cute. But y'all, that was the episode. These next few episodes of them in Nashville look like it's about to be a whole mess because it's a couples trip this time, and we see a clip of Teresa throwing a drink in Margaret's face. So I already know that it's about to get crazy, okay? But I will be there watching and reviewing. But as always, thank you all so much for watching my recap. I hope you all enjoyed. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.